In this video, I'll walk you through Serilog Enrichers. A Serilog Enricher let us automatically add important details to our structured log entries. There are many enricher libraries available, and I'll demonstrate some of them so you can understand the integration. Let's get started. This is a demo Web API project. I've also created another Web API project with CRUD functionalities: create, read, update, and delete using Entity Framework Core, which I'll show you after explaining this implementation. Let me open the NuGet Package Manager. Here you can see the libraries I have already installed for Serilog implementation. Let's go to the Browse tab and install one of the most commonly used Serilog enrichers named Correlation ID. This enricher is used for tracking requests. Now let's implement Serilog in our project. To display the correlation ID, we need to add HTTP context accessor to the dependency service. Additionally, we can enable Serilog request logging. Let's use the builder.host.useSerilog method and assign the configuration. I'll set the default minimum log level to information. Additionally, I'm overriding the minimum log level for Microsoft.ASP.NET Core and setting it to warning. Now, let's add the correlation ID enricher. Next, we'll specify where to write the logs along with a custom output template. Let's configure it to write logs to both the debug and console windows. We can assign the configuration from app settings if needed. Let me show you how. We just need to specify that the values should be read from the configuration. This approach allows us to make changes by simply modifying the app settings. Now, let's provide the Serilog configuration in app settings. First, we'll assign the minimum log levels. Since we are using enrichers, we need a using section to specify the namespaces for the enricher library. For correlation ID, the namespace we need is serilog.enrichers.correlationID. Then, we can specify the enrichers to include. Finally, we'll provide a write to section. Since we are writing logs to both console and debug windows, I have included both along with a custom output template. In the output template, let's include the correlation ID. You need to include the correlation ID in the output template in the program class as well if you are using this method instead of app settings. Next, let's write some logs while executing the API method. I'll add a log just before returning the result, including the result itself in the log. To display the result in proper JSON format, we can use an @ symbol here. While running the application, you can see the logs in the console window. Let's execute the API method. Here you can observe that the correlation ID is the same of these two logs because they are a part of a single request. Let me write one more log when the execution starts. Now, during the method execution, you can see a different correlation ID here, and all these three logs are part of a single request. This way, we can easily track the requests and find the logs generated for each request. Next, I'll show you a few more enrichers: Serilog.enrichers.environment, Serilog.enrichers.process, and Serilog.enrichers.thread. Let's implement all these enrichers. If you are using this approach, you can provide the enrichers here. Let's include the machine name, environment username, process ID, process name, and thread ID. Now, if you are using the app settings configuration, let's see how we can include these. Let me copy the output template to app settings. First, we include the namespaces for all the enrichers. Then add all the necessary enrichers here. While running the application, you can see the logs in the console window. It displays the machine name, environment username, process ID, process name, and thread ID. Let me execute the API method. You'll notice that the values are populated for all the logs. This is the API application with Entity Framework Core CRUD functionalities that I have developed for your reference. It will help you understand and implement structured logging in your CRUD APIs. You can get the project source code from the Patreon post link shared in the video description. Let's try adding 2 products and see how the logs are displayed. You can see the logs with OR enrichers, including the log from EF core showing the db command, which is helpful in case of errors. Let me also show the logs from the get method, which displays db command and the response. The logs of the delete operation include many details such as the db command and the detail of the product that was deleted. We'll be delving into more detailed aspects of Serilog in our upcoming videos. Don't forget to visit our Patreon page where you can access the CRUD API source code using the Patreon post URL provided in the video description. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.